What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Devslopes. Guys, I am beyond excited to share this video with you. This is going to be jam-packed with a lot of information to help you go from someone who knows nothing about coding to having a solid understanding of where you need to start and what exactly you need to do. This is, without further ado, learning to code for dummies. Now, to be honest, I think anybody who knows how to code would have wished that they would have had something like this, because this is going to be a straight breakdown, no bullshit, simple route, simple path forward. That way anyone, if you've had no coding experience, can look at this and be like, okay, I know exactly what I need to do based on this information here. And guys, even more so, this entire thing is going to be linked in the description down below, so you're going to be able to check it out just in case you have any thoughts or questions or you need a refresher on what exactly you need to do. So without further ado, let's dive in. You're someone who knows what code is, right? You know what code is, you know it's in computers, you know it's in websites and things along those lines. Now you need to understand, how do I learn this shit, right? The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what do you want to do with code? Do you want to change your career, or do you want to code for fun? Now, this is a legit question, because some people are just passionate developers, right? They just want to learn how to code because it's their passion. Maybe they're happy with their careers, but they feel like they need a creative outlet like coding in order to do some things that they want to do. And if you want to learn how to code for fun, that's exactly fine. You just have to ask yourself, do I want to build apps? Do I want to build a game? Do I want to work with machine learning or things along those lines? Whatever it is you want to do, it's important you have a solid understanding of what you want to do. So if you want to just code for fun, the paths are pretty simple, right? If you want to build an app, you say, okay, do I want to learn how to build iOS apps? Do I want to learn how to build Android apps? Do I want to learn how to build apps in general, cross-platform apps? If you want to build iOS apps, you're going to start with Swift. If you want to build Android apps, you're going to start with Kotlin. If you want to learn how to build games, you're going to start with Unity and C#. Now, these are programming languages, guys, right? So Unity is the development environment you're going to be using. C# is the language you're going to be using. Same over here with the apps. iOS, you're going to have to learn Xcode, the iOS framework, and then you're going to have to learn the language Swift. Same with Android and Kotlin. Or if you want to do a jump dive into games, you can start with the Unreal Engine environment and C++. And if you want to work with machine learning, you're going to want to learn the language Python. Now, we're going to stop right here, pause this for a moment, and we're going to go back to the other route. So let's say you want to change careers, because that's, I feel like, what majority of people who get into programming want to do, right? Maybe they're tired of working the job that they're working. Maybe they want to make more money, and they want to change careers. More often than not, they want to learn fast, right? So before we jump into that, understand that this is not, when I say fast, I don't mean they want to learn in 3 to 4 months. Most people have a solid understanding that it's going to take longer than that. But what I'm saying is they want to get to a career as quickly as possible. So if that's you, if you want to change careers, and that's what majority of this is going to be focused on, because the other stuff is pretty straightforward, right? But if you want to change careers, you have to understand web development is the route you need to go down. And now I'm going to break down exactly why web development is the route you need to go down. So let's move on. So why web development? Number one, it's in high demand. Web development is the easiest to find a job to get into. Number two, it's an easy learning curve. Compared to game development, compared to iOS development, compared to Android development, compared to machine learning or artificial intelligence or working with neural networks, web development is incredibly easy to get into, and it does not take as much as it would take to get into the other fields. For example, if you want to learn AI, you're going to have to learn a lot of math skills, and it's much more of a steeper slope than it would be to learn web development. And number three is it's high paying, and it gives you the lifestyle you want, right? If you're someone who wants to work from home, web development can give you that. If you're someone who wants to make a 75 to 100,000 plus salary, web development can give you that. And it's going to take a lot less time to get there than it would going any other path. Now, like I said before, if you're passionate about a certain path, by all means, follow that passion. But if you're someone who knows nothing about code and all you know is, I want to get a job, I want to get a job in tech, I know kind of have a basic understanding of what code does. I just want to get a job in tech. Web development is the route to go because that's going to be your quickest barrier of entry to break down and get into the field of tech. So now that we have that understanding, let's move a little bit forward. What exactly is web development, right? So we know iOS development, it's used to build apps. We know game development, you use C#, things like that. We know what game development is, you're building games. We know what machine learning is, it's working with like AI, robotics, and things along those lines. Now we have to have an understanding, okay, what is web development? Web development is basically, like I said, this is a dummified version, everything you see on the internet, okay? So when we look at Google, right, this is all web development. When you're typing something in the search bar and you get something that pops up, when you look at the Gmail app, everything, that was all built in the web development field with code. Same thing with YouTube, right? YouTube. This video that you're watching right now, the entire platform that you're using is a web development platform if you're watching this on your computer. Even down to when you order a pizza on the internet, that is all web development. So now that you have an understanding of what web development is and understanding that, you know, when you're working in this field, you're going to be working with the World Wide Web. Let's dive a little bit deeper. So the languages you're going to be using are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Now, I'm going to pause for a moment. Understand, because a lot of people might be triggered by this because there are so many languages out there that you can use for web development. There's so many. You can use PHP, Laravel, you can use this, that, blah, 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 blah. We can go on and on and on and on and on. There's so many side quests and paths you can go down for web development, but we're not going to get in that because, guys, this is to be a simple, straightforward path for people who have no idea what coding is and all they want to know is what they need to do. So now both of these, we're going to zoom out a little bit. We have an understanding of what we need to learn. Okay, we know what web development is. We know what game development is. We know what languages we have to know. So that's easy. That's easy stuff. Now we know what we need to learn. The big freaking question is, how the heck do I learn this stuff? This is the question that everybody's asking. How the heck do I learn how to code? I'm gonna make this as simple as possible. The first thing you need to do is have 2 to 3 hours a day. 2 to 3 hours a day to dedicate towards coding. 5 to 7 days a week. 6 days, perfect. But 5 to 7 days a week. A minimum of 5 days, maximum of 7 days, because there's only 7 days in the week. 6 days if you want to take a rest day, but you need 2 to 3 hours a day. Whether that's in the morning, that's in the evening, that's in the afternoon, that's during lunchtime, whatever time fits you. You need to have minimum 2 to 3 hours per day to spend towards coding. Because we have to understand, you have to understand that this is a commitment. You are in a relationship with this journey. You cannot up and leave. You guys are married. You cannot just separate from the coding journey. Once you go down this path, if you stop at any given point for a long period of time, odds are you're probably going to give it up. So understand that this is a commitment. 2 to 3 hours a day, and you need to have the mentality that this may take 16 to 24 months. 16 to 24 months. If you have this mentality and you're willing to say, okay, I can dedicate this time, then my friend, you will learn how to code in 16 to 24 months and you will be job ready. Hopefully even before that. So you found out, you looked at your time calendar and you said, okay, I have this amount of time in the morning to learn how to code. Now what's next? So understand that how you spend your time learning is all that matters when it comes to code. You need to be spending 1 hour learning and 1 to 2 hours writing code. Now, how you spend your time learning is all that matters. Where are you going to learn this stuff? Documentation, following a set curriculum, and building projects. Now, the 1 to 2 hours of writing code, building projects, and solving coding challenges. This gets your head in the game. Understand that learning to code is like becoming an electrician. You don't just read books on how to become an electrician. No, you have to actually go out on the field, on the job site, and work as an electrician. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to understand exactly what you're doing by doing it. And the same thing applies with learning how to code. If you're just spending your time watching tutorials and things like that, and we're gonna get to that in a second on what to avoid, but if you just spend your time doing basic things and not actually slamming your hands down on a keyboard, writing out code, you're never going to learn, because learning to code is a hands-on process. Just like becoming a doctor. You wouldn't want to walk into surgery and ask the surgeon, hey, how did you become a surgeon? And he's like, oh, I just, read some books and, that's it. That would terrify me. No, I want a surgeon who has hands-on experience with surgery to touch me. I don't want him to just read a couple books and call it a day and then come here and perform surgery on me. That does not make me comfortable. I want a surgeon who has practice actually giving surgery. And we're going to get into what you need to avoid right now. But this entire premise is based on what we call PBL, and that's project-based learning. Learning through project building. And it doesn't have to be crazy projects. You can literally say, okay, I want to build a calculator app. And you can start looking at documentation, start having an understanding of functions and functionality, and you can start building that out from scratch in a code editor. And guys, a lot of the questions you have can be found on Google and YouTube University. Literally, if you do not know how to set up a Visual Studio Code editor, you can Google, how do I set up a Visual Studio Code editor for JavaScript? How do I set up a Visual Studio Code editor for HTML and CSS? How do I link my HTML and CSS file? And this will give you the insight you need in order to learn as you go. But that's the key there. You're learning as you go. Now we're going to dive into what you need to avoid. Coding tutorials to an extent. We're going to get to that in a second. Coding courses and Reddit. Now Reddit is my favorite, so we're going to get into that first. Guys, Reddit is a pool of negativity. If you get on Reddit as a programmer learning how to code, you're going to get terrified and you're going to want to back off because everybody on Reddit says so much crap about programming and the field of programming. Number one, everyone thinks that they're know-it-alls and they think they know everything about programming. Number two, you have a lot of Debbie Downers who just because they can't learn how to code, they feel the need to push that onto everybody else. And what that does is discourage you and make you not even want to touch the field. And we do not want that. So stay off of Reddit if you're learning how to code. Reddit can only be helpful in a few circumstances, but majority of the time it's not. So we just say, guys, get off Reddit. It's time to get off Reddit. Don't fall into that pool of negativity unless you want to join the people that are on there who are crying about every little thing about the industry. Now, coding courses. Coding courses, they can be tricky, right? And the only reason I say that is because a lot of them, they don't give you the materials you need, and a lot of them, they just let you fly blindly. And when you get stuck in a coding course, you don't really know what to do. That's why we recommend building projects rather than following coding courses. And now keep in mind, courses are way different than curriculum, like we said above. Curriculum is usually designed by like a mentorship academy, similar to what we have at Devslopes Academy, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that if you want to learn how to get a mentor and how we can help you go to someone who knows nothing about coding to getting a full-time job as a programmer, and we don't stop until we get you there. So before we get into that, let's finish this up. Coding tutorials. Why you should stay away from coding tutorials to an extent. Now, coding tutorials can be super helpful for small tasks. The coding tutorials I want you guys to stay away from, however, are the long, drawn-out, 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 hour videos that teach you how to build a clone, or it's like JavaScript, full course, and things like that, because you're not going to retain any of that information. And if you watch a full clone replica video on YouTube and I ask you to build that exact same thing once you finish watching it, you're going to realize, crap, I literally learned nothing from that, and I have no clue how to build this from scratch because I was just following along this tutorial and following someone else's code that wasn't even my code. So that's why we recommend finding projects, small projects. It could be, I want to build the front end of a website. Now the front end, guys, is literally what you see. So if I were to come over here and go to, let's say, YouTube, for example, I might say, I want to recreate what this page looks like. I want to recreate what I can see on this website. I want to make videos up here in the corner, and I want a navigation bar here on the left. I want to rebuild this. This is my favorite website. I want to rebuild it. I want it to be whenever I scroll, the navigation bar here on the left stays the same, and everything else scrolls. These are the kinds of things that you can recreate using just HTML and CSS, and these are the small projects that you can look for. Now guys, another thing, if you're learning how to code by yourself, which we don't really recommend, but hang on, we'll get to that in a second. If you're learning how to code by yourself and you need project ideas, what did I say before? Google and YouTube University, best project ideas for an HTML only page. Best project ideas using only HTML and CSS. And you're going to find tons of project ideas that you can build that are relatively simple and easy. Google is going to be your best friend. Now let's get into why you need a mentor, okay? Let's get into why a mentor can help make this process so much easier, especially if you're someone who knows nothing about code, you've never written a line of code before, all you know is I want to get into the tech industry. A mentor can help you because you're going to get stuck. Number one, you're going to get stuck. You're going to run into problems, you're going to find bugs, and you're going to be like, I don't know what to do. I have no clue what to do. I have no help. And before you run away from the field, we recommend having a mentor because they can help guide you on the right path. They can hold your hand through the process. That way, whenever you get stuck, you have someone to lean back on to push you back forward and say, hey, this is how you do that. Now let's get over the next obstacle. And it helps the learning curve a lot faster because sometimes you can get on Google, try and find a solution to, whatever problem you're facing, and it doesn't work. And then you're like, I looked in the wrong place. And then you can put it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT tells you to write this, and it's entirely different than what you wrote. And so you put it in, and you put it in your code, and you're like, I have no idea what this does. A mentor can help you understand all of those things. Number two, you need a path to follow. Now, we kind of gave you a roadmap, right? We gave you a roadmap, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, or if, Android development, Kotlin, iOS development, Swift, things like that. But you're going to need a set curriculum path. Now, that's where I get into curriculum, why following curriculum can be super beneficial, because let's say I want to learn HTML. Okay, HTML has a lot of aspects to it. Do I need to learn forms first? Do I need to learn tables? Do I need to learn lists or paragraphs or headings? What syntax do I need to learn first? Same with JavaScript. Do I need to learn functions, objects, arrays, data structures, and algorithms? What do I learn first? That's why having a set path to follow can be extremely beneficial. Number three, you need accountability. There's going to be days where you don't want to code. I'm going to make that straightforward, straight to the truth. There are going to be days when you do not want to code. Having a mentor can help hold you accountable to your schedule. Give a check-in. Hey, notice you haven't been coding for the last week. What's going on, man? Is everything okay? Or hey, notice you've been stuck on this problem for a long time and you haven't really touched it any longer. What can I do to help you? Having someone to help hold you accountable to your own schedule and to learning how to code can be so beneficial, and it's what so many people lack, and it's why so many people do not make it over that hurdle. It's like going to the gym. If you have a gym buddy, I don't know, if you're watching this video and you go to the gym and you've worked out with someone else, it is so much easier to work out with someone else and have a gym buddy than it is to work out by yourself, because you guys are both going through the same process. You guys are both, on the journey together. You're holding each other accountable. When he's lifting the weights, you're like, come on, man, lift the weight. And then whenever you're lifting the weights, he's like, come on, man, lift that weight. And that helps you stay motivated. That helps you want to come again tomorrow. The same thing applies with coding. If you have a mentor who's like, come on, man, write your code. Come on, man, let's fix that bug. It's going to be way easier than doing it on your own and saying, crap, I don't want to do this anymore. And then you just give up. And lastly, you need more than just coding skills, okay? Now, what you're going to learn as you learn how to code and as you start, getting more proficient in programming is that coding is a lot more than just technical stuff. You need to learn how to sell yourself on a job interview. You need to learn how to go out and make a career in the industry. You need to learn what that industry actually looks like. You need someone who's been in that process, someone who knows how to navigate, someone who knows how to build a perfect portfolio, someone who knows how to build a coding resume. You need more than just the technical skills, and a mentor can help get you there. Having a mentor makes everything so much easier, especially mentors who won't stop until you land a job. And that's exactly what we do at Devslopes. That separates us from other boot camps, courses, YouTube gurus out there who say you can learn how to code in 3 to 4 months, is we do not stop because we know the process takes so much longer than what boot camps have to offer, what coding courses have to offer, and what other academies and even a college university has to offer. Is because we do not stop until we help you land a job. That means we're going to teach you all the technical things you need to know about code. We're going to teach you all the career skills you need to know about the industry, and we're going to bridge that gap and help you land a job in programming. And our mentors work with you on your schedule. A lot of people, like I said before, you need 2 to 3 hours a day. Those times vary. And finding a program that can help get you, that can give you what you need at the time that you need it is incredibly difficult, especially in today's age. That's why we have classes ranging from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, because we know that you guys have lives. You guys have things you have to do. You guys have families you need to take care of, jobs you have to work still. You can't go to uproot your lives and join a boot camp or go to college for 3 months to 2 years. It just doesn't work that way. And we understand that. That's why we've designed our curriculum to fit your schedule and fit your pace. Our mentors work with you at the time you need them. And like I said, guys, we do not stop until you get a job. That's a heavy emphasis there. We will work with you on your time and your schedule until you land a job. We do not stop at just teaching you the technical skills like most coding boot camps or universities do. We keep going from there. We teach you the career development skills you need to go out. We teach you how to build your portfolio using paid freelance work. We teach you how to crush the interview. And if you fail an interview, we'll help you on the next one. And if you fail that one, we'll help you on the next one. And if you fail that one, we'll help you on the next one. Guys, we don't stop until you land a job. So if that's something you want to learn more about, and that's going to be the route to this video, if you want to learn more about how we can help you become someone who knows nothing about code to having a solid understanding of programming and exactly what you need to do in order to go out and land a job, please, please, please click the link down below. It's going to be right beneath this entire breakdown that we just went over. And guys, I highly recommend you check it out. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is Learning to Code for Dummies. I know it's a funny name, but I thank you guys so much for sticking to the end. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. If you guys want to take a look at this, be sure to check the description down below. Be sure to check out Devslopes Academy if you're looking to get mentorship and if you're looking to land a job and make a career transition this year. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, see more breakdowns in this format, and we will keep it going. Thank you guys so much, and peace.